So this is the tree exercise that we did in class. So one of the problems we sometimes have with creating joints, if we go into animation, skeleton, joint tool, is that if I'm clicking here, nothing happens. I'm like, why is it not working? If I click on the grid, it works. But if I click out here in space, I don't really know, if I move the camera around, I don't really know where these joints are being created, and Maya doesn't either, so it can get a little bit confused as to where it wants me to put these joints. One of the ways it's a little bit easier to start a joint chain is to start in the right side or the front side camera view and just click in initially to place a couple of the joints to start with, and then move them into position. Remember, we want to move joints, we don't want to rotate them. We always want to be moving the joints to get them into the right place. And one of the things I have switched on here is shading X-ray joints, and that allows me to see my joints through my mesh. Also, my joints are a little bit large, so I'm going to go into display, go to animation, joint size, and just set that back to 1. So it's a little bit easier for me to work with. We can also adjust the joint size here in the radius here for each joint individually if I want to make some joints bigger or smaller. Now to speed this up a little bit, we can also hold down V on the keyboard. V stands for vertex snap, and what that'll do is it'll snap whatever we're making to the outside edge of this geometry. But because these trees are quite thin, all we have to do is then move the joint back inside the tree chain. So if I want to make a joint chain here, what I can do is very quickly hold down the V key and just quickly click in here and create a joint chain. And then just move around, hit insert on the keyboard, and just adjust those joints so that they're inside those tree limbs. And then once I've got a pretty good approximation for that, I can connect that joint back up to my main root joint, my root joint chain. All I have to do that is just select the joint that I want to be the child, select the parent, and push P on the keyboard to reconnect it. Go through and create some more joints along here. And then just push enter when you're finished. And then parent that back into the joint chain. So we're almost done here, guys, and what I'm just going to do is just show you one more thing. Once we created a joint chain, we can hit enter on the keyboard, and then we can hit Y on the keyboard as a keyboard shortcut to take us back to using the previous joint. Or what Y does, it will let us use the previous tool that we just used. So if we're using a tool and we push Y on the keyboard, it lets us access the previous tool that we were using. And then once we've got our skeleton all connected up, and we can see that there's one joint here in the outliner, and I can shift select and check my joint chain, everything is all connected up. And the root joint, which is down here, is the base joint. I can select the tree geometry and then the joint, and then go to skin, smooth bind, reset settings, and then just hit bind skin. And now if I create a IK handle, you can go here, IK handle, click the root. You'll notice when your joint chain has been bound, it changes all these lovely bright rainbow colors. This is to help us see which joint's connected to what a little bit easier. We can see where they are on the joint chain. And then so I've selected the IK handle tool, I choose the root joint, choose one of these joints, then I can move the IK handle tool, and we get this really cool effect where we're able to grab and move the entire chain of this tree. Okay, great.